What's up everybody? My name is Becca B. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be kind of like a weekend in my life or like a day in my life. It's not going to be as structured as I'd really love it to be. There's a lot of videos and pieces that are a little bit missing here, but I collected some really good footage over the weekends from a few of the dog rescues that I had done. And I'm just really excited to get it up and see what people think. So I hope that you'll forgive kind of like the lack of quality in this video. I'm going to be putting the footage that I collected over the weekend into this video intermittently and kind of just tell you how my weekend went. And we'll see how this goes. So my weekend started right away, 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. I got a phone call from my boyfriend. He works as a security guard, and he calls me saying that he has found a dog, a stray dog, and he wants me to come get her. So of course I say yes. Of course, there's no question in my mind. You see a stray dog, and you pick her up. That's what I do. So I wake up out of bed frustrated because I don't want to get up. It's the weekend. I want to sleep in with my puppies. And yet here I am ready to go save another dog. So I get up and get ready to go, rush to the location the dog is found. And I put her in my car and kind of just hang out for a few hours. Now this dog, sweetest dog in the world. Now I've rescued quite a few dogs, and this was one of those dogs where you have the hardest time believing that anyone would do anything, badly to this dog. Now, of course, all dogs don't deserve any type of bad things to happen to them, but this was one of those dogs where you sincerely hoped that this dog had never seen a bad day in their life. But that was not the case. This dog was covered in ticks. And when I say covered, I'm not saying 1 or 2, 3 or 4. I think I counted at least 10 to 15. Now maybe that's not crazy, but in my mind, when I think of my dogs, my personal dogs, even seeing like a scratch on their ear is a cause for concern. So when I saw this dog and I looked on her body, the ticks were just crazy. I then looked and saw that there were fleas everywhere. So immediately, I get upset because why is this dog in this condition? But when you're rescuing dogs, there's really no time to get upset, because from the second that you reach that dog to the second that dog leaves your responsibility, it is go time. So I pick up the dog, I assess the dog. What is this dog's personality like? Where's the chip? Where is the collar? Where are the leashes? Where's the owners? And you go from there. So immediately this dog is in bad condition. She's got scratches all over her ears, her neck, cuts and abrasions all over her legs, fleas, ticks. She's dirty, filthy, and she's shy. She's really scared. She's a sweet girl, but she was really scared. You would, go to pick her up and she would immediately flatten herself out and urinate all over her and defecate all over herself. And those are the type of dogs that I truly feel need our help the most. And so, even though it was the weekend, even though I had told myself I'm not going to be saving any more dogs for at least a month, I'm too tired, I'm too broke, our house needs a break, I still felt like something inside of me was saying, you know what, F all that. You are not too tired. You can find the money somewhere. Save this dog. So I put her in my car, I assess her, and I start making some phone calls. The first spot I call would be the animal control. Hey, animal control, I found a dog. What do I do? Unfortunately, it's not what people think it is. You're not just gonna call some agency and they're gonna say, yeah, we'll be right over. You just hang out, get yourself something to drink, pet the dog, we'll be right there, we'll pick her up, we'll find her a great home, we'll find her home. No, it does not work that way. Unfortunately, how it goes is you call and you call and you call and they hang up on you, they don't answer. It was the weekend, so nobody really answered my phone calls. You get answering machines, you get people telling you to call different phone numbers, and they just take you in circles. They say, oh, that's the other shelter. You call that other shelter because you're at a weird location, or your location isn't within our jurisdiction, or just so many different reasons as to why they can't help me with this dog. And after, you know, an hour to 2 hours of being on the phone while this dog is in the back frightened and panting, you then make decisions based on that situation. So I called the authorities, I talked to police officers, they can't do anything. I talked to animal control, they can't do anything. I talked to all my friends. Of course, you know, my friends, amazing as they are, they have their own life, and they chose to devote themselves to something else, whereas I chose to devote myself to animals. And so I call and call and call, hey, can anyone help me with this dog? And unfortunately, they get calls from me every single day, and the answer more than likely is, I'm sorry, Becca B, but I can't. They're always like, I would love to help out, but and I don't blame them. You know, I get myself into these situations. They don't choose this life, I do. So of course there's no hate there. I'm like, hey, thanks for even taking my call in the first place. So I then go with my second option, or I guess my fifth option at this point. Does she have a microchip? So I take her to the emergency hospital, drag her in because she's never been on the leash before, apparently, and no microchip. And so at that point, there's no collar with no tags attached, obviously. There's no microchip. This dog is extremely shy, does not appear to be spayed. There's no spay, scar, tattoo indicating that she's been spayed. And so my thinking is, this dog, more than likely, if it did have a home, probably wasn't a very good home. I may be wrong. I don't know. I can't judge too much. All I can say is I can judge off of what I'm presented with, which was a really scared, sad, dirty, tick flea infested dog. So I take her home, and of course, on the way home, she urinates again all over my back seat. And so I was, you know, freaking out because not for the car so much as like now there's urine all over this dog. So I throw her in the front seat. And my house was about 20 to 30 minutes away from the location that we found her. So it's a little bit of a far drive. And she vomits all over the front seat, all over my beautiful Kate Spade purse, all over my lap, all over my really important papers I had in the front seat. And it was kind of funny because you kind of get overwhelmed with this situation. You have this dog that needs your help, and this dog just blows chunks all over your car, and you just cry / laugh at the situation because you work so hard for the things that you have, and there's nothing you can do at that point. There's nothing. I can't say anything to her or yell at her. It is what it is. So now I have, you know, vomit all over me and urine. It's all over my car. This is what it's like. There is vomit all over my car and urine. But we do eventually make it home. Put her in my spare bathroom. Say hi. Ah. Oh my goodness. What are we gonna do with you? Huh? What are we gonna do with you? What should we do, Nova? A spare bathroom that I literally just finished cleaning from 6 kittens I had the previous week who were also homeless, and I found homes for on the coast. So I had just cleaned my bathroom and was like, you know what, no more stray animals for at least a month. And here I have this gorgeous puppy who looks at me with such hope. And she urinates all over my bathroom, and it's okay. You know, it's okay because she's okay. And that's all that's important in my head is if the dog is safe, everything's okay. Like there's nothing so important that comes above this animal's life. So I throw her in the bathroom and I start making more phone calls. I start posting ads on the lost and found pages. I message tons of rescues. It's Saturday, so there's not really much they can do. Again, I just tried everything I could. Now, keep in mind that this is all done within, I would say, a span of maybe 5 to 6 hours. You know, I did have to take breaks to take care of my own 3 dogs, cleaning the house, getting ready, making my own personal phone calls for appointments and work and all those things, you know, trying to find time to get lunch. And before I know it, the day is over. And we still have this 4th dog that we certainly do not need. And having rescued multiple dogs in the past, I wouldn't say I'm the best at it by any means. I don't have a ton of resources. I don't have a whole bunch of people supporting me like endlessly. But I also wouldn't say I'm naive to the process. So it's Saturday night. We've had her at this point in our, you know, house for maybe about 15 to 20 hours. Because I had gotten her in the morning. We spent a few hours driving and then brought her home for the day. And my head is racking with ideas and thoughts and consequences and what ifs, and I get scared. And here's the reasons why. The number one reason that I get terrified when I rescue dogs that I don't plan on keeping is that I'm terrified this dog will not have a home after me. If I don't keep this dog, will it find a home? And in my head, it's not easy to just get rid of them. You know, when they come into my house, I almost feel like it's a part of me now. This dog, even though it's not mine, is a part of my family now, and it is my responsibility to make sure this dog is taken care of for the rest of his life, his or her life. And so when I can't get a hold of rescues, when I can't get a hold of owners, when I can't get a hold of the animal shelter, it terrifies me, because now it is just me and my family and this dog, and we cannot keep this dog. So our options are to take it back to where we found it. That's not an option. Like, that, you just don't do that. The second option is to keep her for life. And trust me, every dog that comes through my door, I consider, maybe we could do it. We could work part-time, and we could get a credit card, and we could do puppy training classes, and you can crate her at this time, and you can come home. It'll work, babe, it'll work. Like, we can keep her. And then we come around to the idea and realize we can't keep them all. We can't save them all. We can't keep them all either when we do save them. And so then our third option is to find a better place for her. So I reach out to all the people I know. Hey, can you take this dog off my hands? I need help. And again, unfortunately, I don't know anybody here in Bakersfield. I just moved here in January, so the resources I have are limited, and even if someone could take them, a lot of the times they can't take them for weeks out because they're already packed with so many dogs. So I get nervous as to where I'm going to put this dog, because sure, I can keep her for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, but ultimately I can't house dog after dog after dog. And so I get nervous, and Sunday comes. 5 a.m. Sunday morning, I get a call from my boyfriend, bless his heart. And he tells me he has found yet another dog in this area where he's working, and it needs saving. And I just start crying, because I already have 5 dogs. I have nowhere to put another dog. Yet if I lay in bed and say, nah, let someone else pick it up, I've already done my good deed for the day. No one's gonna pick this dog up. I gather my nerves, I gather my guts and my braveness, and I say, you know what? I'm on my way. So I feed all the dogs, all 4 of them. take them all on walks, including the new puppy that we have rescued, which we named Callie. Take them all on walks by myself, and I head out in my vomit urine mobile. It is 6:30 in the morning, and we are off to rescue another dog. This one's a pit bull, and he was roaming around where my boyfriend works. Yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. I finally get a hold of the now second rescue dog in 2 days. This is a pit bull, and he is such a love bug. Hey buddy, where's your owner? Oh boy, how handsome you are. Hey, so cute. He did have a microchip. I remember we caught him and put him in my car, and immediately I knew, like, there's no real way I can keep this dog as well, so let me go rush him to the ER and scan him for a microchip. Okay, so we have been trying to contact animal control for the last maybe 10, 9, 8, 7, 3 hours, and we finally got a hold of them, and because it is a Sunday, they are unable to pick this dog up. So we are headed to the emergency hospital to see if he is microchipped, and hoping that he is, so we can return him back to his owner. And if he is not, then we will have to figure out another place to put him. Of course, I'm in contact with the animal shelter again, and they're getting really tired of hearing my voice, like, Rebecca, stop picking up dogs, we're not gonna take them from you. And I'm always apologizing, I'm sorry, I just can't help it, like. So, we are able to contact the owners, but actually prior to this, before we were able to get a hold of the owners, I did take him to get scanned for the microchip, and then I took him home, because I wasn't able to get a hold of the owners right away. So I took him home, and I put him in the spare bathroom and took the first rescue dog, Callie, out of the spare bathroom and threw her in one of the big dog crates we had in the living room. So now I have 3 of my own dogs, a puppy, and a pit bull in a very, very small apartment with one very, very small girl, myself. And I take a minute to breathe, and all these dogs are barking. The pit bull is barking and whining. Callie, the rescue dog, is whining. My dogs are whining and barking. I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out on the floor, just not knowing what to do with these 2 dogs. And I hear, you know, literally, I left this pit bull, in the bathroom for 5 minutes, and I opened the door, and there's a huge hole in my wall and in my door. And you just kind of, you don't really know what to do. You're just like, really? Tear a hole in my wall, huh? Oh, I don't ever hit or yell or anything at dogs. I just kind of look at them and I'm like, all right, this is what we're working with today. So I, put him in the big kennel, put Callie back into the spare bathroom, and eventually we did hear from the owners for the pit bull. And I loaded the pit bull back up and drove 20 plus minutes back into town to give these people their dog. Well, the good news is we were able to get a hold of that dog's owner, and I brought him back to the owner's house, and they didn't speak any English, so I had to use my broken Spanish to try to get them to understand, where we found the dog and how long we had had the dog. But he is back home, safe, and they were very happy, and I am very happy, so yay! And they were very thankful, and it was a really good situation and a really good outcome. The chances of finding an owner when you find a stray, especially with dogs with no collars or tags, it's slim to none chance you're gonna find the owner. But this chance we did, and it was really great because it kind of made me feel like I'm doing something right. This dog has been running the streets for the day or 2 days, or I'm not even sure how long, but I'm doing something right. And so I kind of like, I get my motivation back up. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing something good. So I go back home and I'm like, all right, we have one puppy left. Let's figure the best outcome for this situation. In my head, my options are to take her to the animal shelter in Bakersfield, find her a home on my own that's really good, or keep her, or, you know, put her back. And keeping her and putting her back are not options, really. So my options are to rehome her into a really loving, amazing family that I can keep in contact with, get updates on, and help, or drop her off at the High Kill shelter. Bakersfield is, I wouldn't say the worst system in sheltering, but it is so far from the best. It's really overwhelming, to say the least. Me and my boyfriend go to the shelters quite often, at least once a week, if not twice, or sometimes 3 times a week. And we walk up and down the kennels, and we spend time with each dog, and we cuddle with them, we talk to them, we give them treats, we take them out, and we try to offer them any comfort we can while they're in there. And as someone who rescues dogs, I kind of made it like a moral line never to put a dog into a shelter. And I never have. Like, I don't know if, I know there's laws against doing that, but I've talked to police officers and I've talked to animal control before personally, myself. I have gone to them and said, hey, I have this dog, what should I do? They are definitely not thrilled with me at all. I bring them a lot of dogs and say, hey, I need help, hey, I need help, hey, I need help. They're not willing to help, and it's just because they don't have any resources. They are packed with dogs, people breeding their dogs, people getting dogs they're not ready for and turning them into the shelters, people moving and not being able to keep their dogs. Whatever the issue is, they always turn them into the shelters. And they are so packed with dogs that someone walking through their doors, they will roll their eyes because they are so overwhelmed. And I know this because I've been on the other side of this. I've worked at a humane society before, and even though it wasn't as bad at that place as it is in the animal services part of it, it's nonstop. You get calls nonstop about stray dogs. You get people complaining that we're not doing a good job saving the dogs, yet they're not willing to help, funny enough. And so, of course, I'm going to bring this dog in. Hey, here's some flyers. Please let me know if you have any idea of whose dog this is. And they're like, yep, good luck. I will mention that they can't turn down dogs. So if I did want to turn in a dog, it's free. It's a stray dog, so it's free. And I'm assuming it would be pretty easy to do so. And I... in worse situations, like, I've never been put in a situation like this, but if it were to be the shelter or no home at all, of course I would take the dog to the shelter. But in doing so, I almost feel like when I hand them the leash with the dog attached, I'm handing them the right to decide the fate of this dog. And as someone who rescued this dog and is now responsible for this dog, I can't see myself saying, yeah, go ahead and try to find a home for her, but if you can't, just kill her. We don't need her anyway. And I can't do that. It doesn't line up with my morals to just give up. Like, I can't just say, I don't want to put the effort into finding her a home, so I'm just gonna put her in the shelter. They can do the work. It just doesn't make sense to me. If the shelter found the owners more efficiently, I would be more likely to hand their dogs to them. But there's just too many dogs, too many stray dogs, and people turning in their dogs. There's not enough people and time and money and space to keep all these dogs. So they keep the dogs for, every shelter is different, and I might be wrong here, but I believe it's 7 to 10 days. After that holding period, they are fair game. And if someone does not adopt that dog, they euthanize the dog. Now, everyone says, oh, puppies will get adopted right away. Just do it, put them in there, they will get adopted. The thing is, in Bakersfield, the puppies, even though there are so many cute puppies, there's just not enough homes for them. And puppies don't go as fast here as they do at other locations in the world. They just, and when they do go, they don't go to good homes sometimes. I've worked at an emergency hospital, and the people who bring their dogs in, a lot of them are amazing owners, but some of them, they haven't treated their dog very well. And I don't want to risk them putting this dog to sleep for a chance that they may find the owner. I looked online, I looked for postings, I made calls, I did everything I could, made a decision that was best fit for the dog, and ultimately it has nothing to do with what was right and wrong. All I know is that if I had left the dog there to be continuously eaten by ticks and fleas and starving and thirsty and hot and dirty, I just wouldn't have felt right. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is this weekend was hard, and it just ended today. It's Monday, and my weekend just ended. And now I think I might finally have time to relax. Of course, I don't know. I'm probably gonna get a call any minute now about a dog needing help. But if I could tell anybody anything, is that do what you feel is right. Do what your heart says to do. Don't listen to other people telling you what's right and wrong. Of course, you know, there's things that you have to do in order to not get in trouble with the law, but if you've done those things and you still can't find a solution that's best, you take it into your own hands and do what you feel is right. And I'm lucky in the sense that I have this kind of drive to continue doing these things, but I know a lot of people don't have time. They've got kids, they've got money, more money problems than maybe I do, which would be surprising because I've got a lot of money. Again, like, I understand that not everyone can do such a big thing as rescuing as many dogs as I have, but if you do find yourself ever in a situation like this, I encourage you to just do what your heart says. And try not to listen to other people critiquing you or being negative, giving you their opinion of what they would do, because ultimately you're in that situation, they aren't. And that's for everything in life. Aside from rescuing dogs, relationships or jobs or life situations, try to just do what your heart says. Try not to listen so much about what other people would do or their advice or their opinion, because ultimately it is your life and you need to do what is best for that situation. And I promise you, if your intentions are good, if your intentions are to do the best thing in the world in that situation, I promise you that no matter what comes your way, you will get through it, and people will soon, if they haven't already, they'll see your intentions are true. So I guess I'll end this video with, I rescued 2 dogs this weekend. 2 is not a very big number, but for me, being a 21-year-old living on her own, making her own money with no help from the outside or family or anything, it's a lot. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of time and money and resources and emotions. I had 3 or 4 mental breakdowns this weekend over just like everything. And I finally came to the realization today about the situations that I did the best I could, and the dogs are safe and the dogs are happy. And what consequences may come from the decisions I made in order to get those dogs there, they will come. And I'm prepared for whatever does come. I was raised to be this way. I was raised to be stubborn. I was raised to fight with everything I had. I was raised to love more than you have ever been loved. I was raised to just be true to yourself. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video with, If you would like to donate to helping me save more animals, I will put a PayPal account down below. Even $1 helps, you guys. If you have any positive things to say towards me, I would love to hear them. Trust me, I need it. Even if you have something negative to say, I would just ask that you try to create some type of positive outcome with the negativity. I'm not saying, oh, don't say anything negative to me because I can't handle it. Trust me, I can handle it. It's just, I'm asking you politely. I have so much on my plate with these dogs in my life that I'm just asking you, like, can you not say some negative things? Like, can you just hold it back? Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! So I'll go ahead in this video with, I have a PayPal account. If you or someone you know struggles with mesothelioma, then you may be entitled to compensation. I was going to make my bed, but Benny wanted to sleep.